Yo, I'm Brandon here with my friend Ty. We're here to see the movie X. Ty, what are your expectations going into this movie, though?
I have literally no idea what this movie is about. So I'm excited. I heard it was a horror movie. I don't like horror movies, so maybe I'll like it. Maybe I won't. Let's see.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm kind of in the same boat with Ty right there. I don't know what to expect. I just know it's a horror movie, so hopefully it's fucking suspenseful or whatever. I don't know what they're going for. We'll see. Ah! All right. We just watched X, dog. Ty.
Okay.
What'd you think of it, man?
I thought it was a very good movie. It was pretty artsy. It was an A24 film. I liked it. I'm scared of old people out in the middle of nowhere. I would watch it again. Yeah.
What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene. Wait, give me a second. I think the alligator scene was pretty fucking good.
I was gonna say the alligator scene too, cause like you get the wide shot and you're just like, there's something up with this, cause they keep cutting back to the wide shot and you're like, there's something up with this.
Yeah, the tension they build.
Yeah, and then you see the alligator coming and you're like, dude, she don't even see that shit. Yeah. And that's what the movie does really good, is like, you'll see shit, but the characters won't see shit. So it builds suspense within the audience. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
And the moments where they like make it look like it's their POV or that the main characters are being watched, that was really cool to see. I mean, it's been done before, but I like how they do it in this movie.
Yeah, it's very tastefully done. It's not done all the time, but when it's done, it makes you question, like, are we seeing this from someone else's perspective, or is this just like the movie like fucking with us, like being meta? Because there's a lot of meta shit that the movie does, in terms of like talking about film and stuff, and how it references like the political climate of how progressive people are becoming with their sexuality and shit, which is really interesting, and how they juxtapose that, because like they make you sympathetic to like the old people, because you're like, damn, like you can like almost, you can empathize with them, like how they're past their prime and they just like want to fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so when you say that, I think another scene of mine that's favorite of mine is when the old lady gets in the bed and you can see like in the foreground the young lady. So when she lays down, it's like she's becoming the younger lady, version of herself. Yeah, that scene was also very good. Yeah,
they do a lot of good shit like that, where like there's like that symmetry where they connect with the old and the youth, and it's like, oh shit. And it's just like there's this quote that I came across when I was watching this video talking about how Radiohead writes melodies. Okay. And one of the things that they say is like, don't give the audience 4, give the audience 2 + 2. So they can add it up together in their mind. And they do so much shit like that. Like, there's so much like foreshadowing that they do. Like when the old lady gets her head stomped by the fucking truck, it calls back to the imagery in the beginning of the movie where they go past the truck and the cow, where the accident where the cow happens, and you see like the tire go over the guts, and I'm like, oh, that was just like gratuitous just to be gratuitous. But no, that was actually like foreshadowing. And there's like little clever moments like that you have to like pay attention to. Like there's a bunch of different moments that we could go into detail, but I can't really recall any that come to memory aside from that. But yeah, dude, like the movie's like, it feels like it trusts your intelligence as like an audience member. Cause like,
it makes you think, for sure.
Yeah, and then it just has like off the cuff shit, like when the fucking lady shoots the shotgun and she goes flying out the fucking door, dog. That shit was hilarious. Like, there's like some dark humor in there and shit like that. But all around, you would recommend this movie?
Yeah, I would give it. Are we rating? Are we going out of 10, or just yes or no? I would recommend. I would watch it again, and I watch a lot of movies, so.
Okay. Yeah. So that's coming from someone who loves movies but doesn't have the time to watch them. So that means a lot. And yes, I would recommend this too, because I watch a lot of movies and I have the time to watch them, and I would definitely rewatch this. So that's coming from 2 different perspectives. You heard it. X is a badass movie. It's fun. It's gory. It trusts your intelligence as a fucking audience member. Yeah. So fuck yeah, this movie's good. Ah! Hey guys, this is me, Brandon. I'm just here, and I'm doing this portion of the video to help refine some of the things that me and Ty talked about after I shut the video off. One of the things that we bring up is the death didn't feel as thought out as they could have been. because we were the only ones in the movie theater, so like we were in there like speculating like who's gonna die, because the scene with the alligator, we're like, oh shit, and then it builds up the suspension. I'm like, yo, they're not just gonna show like the alligator about to kill someone and then not have the alligator kill someone, you know? And we were speculating that, well, he brought it up. He brought up the idea that the cameraman should have been the one to get the pitchfork through the eye, because you know he's the cameraman, you know. And we both agreed on the idea that the producer should have been the dude to get eaten by the alligator, because he's like an alligator in a sense of like his negotiating skills. And it felt like Kid Cudi's death was kind of just like to the point. He just gets shot in the chest. Like, we were like, yo, is the old man gonna shoot him in the leg? Is he gonna bait him into the alligator? And then we're like, oh, he threw the light in the thing, he's gonna get eaten by the alligator. And then he doesn't get eaten by the alligator, and then he just gets shot in the chest. And we're like, oh. But Ty brought up a good point about how the videographer's girlfriend, how she abandons like her faith towards like a Christian lifestyle, and how she gets locked in the basement, and how the dude says, don't come out of the basement. And it's metaphorical for how she abandoned her beliefs and stuff. When she came out of the basement, she came out of the closet, she abandoned all her vanity, and then that's when she died. So when he brought that up, I couldn't help but agree that that was like, that made sense in terms of her death. And then the what else? Oh yeah, we brought up how awesome the cinematography and the editing is, because he's a really talented editor, and like I kind of edit too, but he does way more of it than I do. And like we were like, yo, like the editing, we kept bringing up how like there's triple cuts, and I was like, why does it triple cut at certain points? Is this supposed to be symmetrical to like the main character and the old lady? Because I didn't know until after the movie. I had to look it up that the main actress, Mia Goth or whatever, I gotta look it up. She plays the old lady too, and I was like, yo, that's dope. And I really love the opening scene in particular, because you just get the shot and it's kind of closed off, but it's not like closed off legitimately. It's just like the way it's framed through the doorway, and you see the cop pull up, and then that's when you go out, and then you see the two cop cars on the left and the right, and I'm like, yo, that was a dope reveal. And just some of the editing techniques, like it did a wipe at first, and I was like, that's an interesting technique, like you don't see people wiping in films very often. And then I was like, is it gonna wipe again on the scene when Kid Cudi's playing guitar, and the old lady's like sitting there, and she's like, you know, being depressed or whatever, or like gearing up to kill them, but you don't know that she's gearing up to kill them. And how it like wipes only half screen, and then it like cuts it like keeps the split half screen, but then it switches the perspectives. And I was like, yo, that's really dope. Like the editing is really interesting, to say the least. And the gore done the practical effects done by Weta are fucking dope as shit. Like when the lady gets her fucking head fucking ran over, that was really entertaining. I wish the alligator death was better though, because I mean, it's cool at first because you see it chomps her head, and it kind of like, I wish they like made it more suspenseful, because we knew the alligators were in there, but we didn't know when. I wish they like played with us a little bit more, and like kind of blue balls us for the alligators to come, or had it like in the background come up or something, and then disappear, and then wait a little bit, and then boom, grab her. But then like when it does grab her, like the only cool part is it grabs her head, and then like you hear, and it's disturbing because you just hear her gargling under the water and shit, and it's just splashing and shit. But you don't really get to see much of it because it's like I said, it's very dark. And I just wish like that played out a little bit better. Something else that I thought was rather commendable was the production design, because this is all filmed in New Zealand. I don't think all of it is, but a majority of it is, especially at the farm. And the use of music, because all the songs used in the movie actually came out in the 70s, so it adds to the authenticity of the era that we're viewing the lens through. And what I love in particular about the scene when Kid Cudi's playing guitar is how they use the music to help you empathize with the old lady. And that's what's really good about the writing, is that the whole movie kind of just unfolds, and Because I mentioned to Ty halfway through the movie, I'm like, yo, this would have never happened if like the movie dude was like didn't want to fucking make a movie and bring his girlfriend along. But then I was like, wait, it goes even further than that. This would have never happened had the dude called to go stay at this fucking farm. And I was like, dude, there's so many instances where this whole story could have just completely been avoided. Oh, this reminds me. The scene when the old couple was fucking and the fucking chicks under the bed, in my head, or I even said this to Ty, I was like, yo, that was like her opportunity to do something, because they're old and frail. Like, that's like your time to, I mean, she didn't really have a weapon. I guess she didn't see the shotgun in the scene, but she could have grabbed something off the dresser to like assault them with, because she already heard them mention that they had taken out her friend. She's like, oh, I got the fourth one, I got the fifth one, I got the fifth one in the barn or whatever. And like, to me, I'm like, fuck these old people. Like, they're frail. Like, they killed my friends already. They're probably gonna kill me. This is an opportunity. They're vulnerable. You know what I mean? So that was one gripe that I had with it. What's also cool about the movie is how I'm not usually a fan of when they reveal the ending of the movie at the beginning, but the whole time, like, it was building suspense. I'm like, how the hell did we get to the point where we see like the gore and stuff in the beginning? And like they kept showing the old couple as like ominous and creepy, and I was like, are they trying to do a bait and switch? Is like, are they actually like good people? Because then they start like throwing like actual uh things for you to latch onto in terms of their character and stuff. How the old lady is like, she used to be a dancer or whatever, and the old dude used to be a marine or whatever. And then you start like empathizing with their characters and stuff. And then the scene happens where the videographer's girlfriend shoots the porno scene. And I was like, yo, are they gonna actually switch it to where he's gonna like go mad and then fucking kill everyone? And then like, the old lady, what's really cool about this scene is like, you can tell that she kind of relives her youth by committing these violent acts. Because when she does it, well, when she goes up to him and like to hug him, she kind of like wants to be accepted. And then when she's rejected, because she's constantly rejected throughout the film, so you kind of empathize with her because you see she just wants to feel young again. But then like, she doesn't, like, people just kind of like keep shitting on her and rejecting her, and then she finally kills him, and you're like, I understand why, but that's also like fucked up, And then she's doing the dancing shit, and I'm like, oh, she finds purpose through murdering people. And then you come to find out, oh, the husband's in on it too, because you don't know. It's slowly revealed. You think it's just her doing that, like she just snapped, like that's what you're led to believe, and then it turns out, oh no, these people have been doing this forever. No wonder they have a swamp with gators. That makes sense. And then you see the Volkswagen in the river, and then you see the dude tied up in the basement, and you're like, oh shit. Like the scene when fucking she tries to break out of the thing, and then he comes over with the gun butt and just bah, 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 and fucks her hand up. I mentioned to Ty, I was like, why didn't she like break the door closer to the thing so she didn't have to reach as far to like unlock the latch or whatever. I don't know what else to say about this film, but it gives you a lot to think about. It gives you a lot to ponder on, and it's just entertaining as a whole. So I think that's all I have to say about this movie. So go watch this shit because it's good.